ladies, welcome to our module or week 6. So
Week-
tell me, what would you need? How was your week? Where are we?
Well, I have to say that I was very sick, believe it or not, right?
Oh, sorry to hear that.
But it's very interesting, right? Now, okay, because I'm back to normal today. Today's my first normal day. I didn't go near my inner child work at all, right?
Yeah.
At all. I couldn't even, and I was in the car, I couldn't even play it. It was interesting. So I just listened to my body. But I had this nauseous feeling, right, for about 3 days where I wanted to get sick, but I couldn't get sick.
Yeah. Throw up sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting for me
Really?
today. I suppose now it's great. I got today off work and I got tomorrow, which is great. I'm delighted because I need the time. I just realized, I've been on this bloody wheel. But yeah, so from a holistic point of view today, there's definitely healing going on.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no doubt.
Good.
Interesting. And you said you just felt nauseous, but you didn't actually.
Yeah.
You
No.
said, it's interesting
Bizarre.
how they wanted to receive, not receive. They wanted to like release something.
Yeah. But I had to go to bed. I had to go to bed like Friday afternoon. I physically had to go to bed, and I just allowed it to happen. And it's okay, and I'm not beating myself. I'm not judging anything because I've got tomorrow and I'm going to enjoy it tomorrow. I'll have the time. So,
Sandy, so look what really happened. Look how beautifully you reparented your inner child.
Yeah.
You allowed her to go to bed with no judgment. You do the work later when you will feel better. Just go to bed and just take time for yourself.
Yeah.
So that was a huge love that you gave yourself. You could be hard on yourself. You could easily go back into this judgmental, pushy mentality where you're telling yourself you had to do this, you have to, you should, you this. You didn't go into that survival mode.
Yeah, thank God.
You went to the loving, caring, okay, I don't feel well, let's go to bed. Just take it easy, caring, loving. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is exactly why we're doing this.
Yeah, and I didn't feel, I thought, you know what? I'm speaking my truth. I'm not, look, this is it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at week 6.
Very good. And I know that will sound bad, but I love how your body is responding to this whole process of releasing or healing. Like,
It's interesting, very interesting. Yeah.
You see, it is believed that when our body is actually, when we are physically ill, that means the whole healing process already happened. Now just body throw out the whole like toxicity of the negativity of what was holding all the time. So really being ill is the end of the whole process because your body was already fighting with the illness, and now it's just throwing it outside so you can. It's actually beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. It's interesting, definitely. It's been an interesting journey so far, yeah.
And it's only just beginning, really,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I had a few little epiphanies for myself during the week, which is that whole idea where I set myself up like I'm going to work on this an hour every day and stuff like that, and then I don't work on it and stuff like that. I said last week that, I've been doing that where I just think about things for the week and then maybe Sunday or Monday I go back to the program. and I put it off all day yesterday, even though I was saying to myself, I'm going to be the adult and I want to do this, the same way when Sandy was saying about journaling, that I'm going to be the adult here. I'm doing this for both of us and stuff like that. So I realized I was doing it again. And I went to the gym this morning, and it was just a weird thing. When I came home from the gym, I was so tired that I went to bed for a few hours. And, I know it's all part of that, but I was trying not to make myself feel guilty about it, because when I did get up and I started doing the work at 5 o'clock, I got a lot done. I got a lot done in the in listening and stuff like that. Are you there, Sylvia?
I am. I'm listening.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, darling. But we were talking about, letting go and, letting this go and accepting that it happened and healing. And you asked us to journal about it. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. And I did start journaling. And there was something that came up in that journaling, that by letting and releasing all these, the fear and the dread, mine was always dread, because I never knew what was going to be happening and stuff like that. But something that came up, like, it's going to be hard to explain this, but I held on to that because at least I knew that, because I didn't know if I let that go, would something more awful come? That letting it go, where, and now I had to say, there's not going to be a hole. It's not going to be filled with anything else. It's just going to be healing and releasing. But that whole thing about, if you know this awfulness, you can hang on to this instead of wondering what else is coming down the line. So that, I feel it's a big thing for me, that, you can let it go and there'll be no hole. There'll be nothing missing there for something other negativeness to come in. So I felt good.
Again, this is another amazing thing. And because our brain, I think it was in module 6, I'm not sure now, but when we are so much in our trauma and in our survival mode, this becomes our norm. This is what we know. So because trauma makes us so much disconnected from our body, from ourselves, of who we are and our potential, it keeps us locked in that survival mode, in that traumatized self. And as a result, because we're so disconnected, very much the ego is very active, and our ego will never want you to do anything out of your comfort zone. Your ego will always tell you, your mind will always tell you, don't do this because at least this is what you know. Don't go, don't heal because that's unknown.
I wrote it here. My ego doesn't trust that we can do the work. The egos and the feelings don't feel safe. It was all about, accepting that it happened to you, but now you are the adult in charge. Sometimes you can write things at different times, but, I did,
So what really happened for you is that you actually overcome your own ego mind.
I did, didn't I? I'm learning.
Absolutely. So you caught yourself thinking out of your ego state of mind. You caught yourself thinking like in the survival mode, and you overcome that, and you did what was right. What you felt was right. Even though it was out of your comfort zone, you still done it. You listened to yourself. So look how beautifully you have connected with yourself.
And it was also, I don't know if it was one of the programs or we were talking about it last week, but where that, you know, you let things flow. Like, I don't let things flow, you know, and see how it's going to work out. That's frightening to me, you know. So I went to bed and I slept for a few hours, and I didn't chastise myself for it. You know, I wasn't in bed sleeping thinking, oh, you know, once again, or, you know, I don't know why I do that. I make these, I'm going to do this. And then it's just like, why do you even say stuff like that when you don't need to, you know?
But you see, all of that is your own awareness. You started to pay attention to yourself, Colleen. You
Yeah.
started to pay attention to how you feel, what you want, what you need. If you're not paying attention, you don't know. You're in survival. But
Yeah.
both of you this week, I wish I could hug you right now, okay? And I want you to feel I'm actually hugging you virtually, okay? I'm just holding both of you. I'm hugging you with so much happiness and gratitude. You know, this is just beautiful how both of you got out of that survival mode and did what it felt right, not did what you felt you had to do or what you should do. Because you know now that every time that you will tell yourself, I have to, I must, I should, this is all the survival mantra.
Okay.
And look what you gave yourself today.
Yeah.
Oh, I can, and I will later. I
Yeah.
feel like I want to do this. I don't have to. This is what I need. Both of you acted out of your needs rather than what you believed you had to.
Yeah.
No pressure, no hurt, no tension, no survival, no fear.
Yeah.
It's big.
Acceptance, understanding, connecting, listening, loving, caring yourself. Do you see the huge shift in, oh my God.
Yeah, it's interesting actually.
Yeah.
We're glowing, Colleen.
Yeah, we're glowing.
And it's so interesting at the same time how both of you are, like, do you contact each other outside of this?
No.
No. We'll have to meet for a coffee.
That's what's happening. Like, look how much even both of you are connected. Like,
Yeah.
both of you have
Connected.
more
Yeah,
or less.
that's true.
I know that Colleen wasn't sick, but Sandy was. But at the same time, your behaviors were more or less the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No, my body needed rest for some reason, do you know? Or maybe it was because I knew I was going to be journaling about this stuff. And I, you know, I'm not saying it's hard to be honest, but it's hard to get really like deep down, truthfully connected, you know? So I think maybe that's what it was. And then I sat down about 4:30, 5 o'clock and just did a lot of work, just did a lot of writing and, you know, felt good about it, you know?
well done. Well done. I'm so, like, I can't even express how if my heart could have a face, it would be like so happy and dance away. I'm so happy for both of you, you know,
Thank
for your
you.
own inner child, for your, like,
Yeah.
finally you're
Yeah.
listening. You're listening to the self.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, it is learning how to listen to yourself. And, you know, up until years later, and even like you say, those soft whispers are, you know, they're those emotions as whispers to yourself. And you've had years of just stuffing them down, you know,
Yeah.
you know, it's learning to listen to them, you know.
So if we would take this to, well, I don't know if it's next level, but if you just continue, also, Corinne, what you said about not knowing, like your mind didn't want you to do it because you didn't know what's on the other side. And despite of that, you still did it.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you prove to yourself from it?
Well,
Your mind was like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I want to do it because it's unknown.
yeah.
And you still did it.
Well, always, once I've done it, it was never as awful as I anticipated it, you know, or the fear, or just, I don't want to do it because I don't want to get the shovel in there and start digging it all up, you know, and then like being brutally honest about things. And then can you go deep enough to be honest and not that surface sort of words that you pull out? So I just think it's the work, you know, that it's going to be digging. It's the digging work, you know, and it's hard. But like you say, there's no wrong or right answers. So it doesn't have to be right. And like, we never have to read anything. So that's okay. That's great about it too. So that I can do it, and maybe that I've got to stop, you know, not just with this program, but with other stuff, setting myself up like, oh, I'm going to do that every week, you know, and you know, that I don't know what that is. Is that the ego again, or being disconnected? You know,
It could be very much the ego, but also the fear of not being good enough.
Yeah. Okay.
When we set ourselves a huge expectation, when we set ourselves like the biggest goals and tasks, because in our mind it sounds good and it sounds possible, yes, we can do it and it will make us feel good. What we're really doing is that we're looking for validations from other things.
Yeah.
Okay. We allowing the other tasks. Oh, if I will do this and that, then I will feel great about myself and I will have so much accomplished. So there is ego, but there's also something else.
Yeah.
It's the masking of I'm not good enough. So you're masking the achievements in your head. Oh, I will feel good. But really what you're giving yourself is very much conditional love.
Yeah.
If you do this, then I will be happy with myself. If I accomplish that, then I will be happy with myself. Do you see how much conditions that brings to your own relationship that you're building with yourself?
Yeah, I do. I do. I know.
So on the task, the bigger the task, ask yourself, is it actually real? Like, do I really want all those tasks, or do I actually want a bit of freedom and flexibility?
Yeah. And also that whole idea of just letting things evolve. Forget how you were saying it. I don't know who we were talking about last week, or it was one of the modules that I listened to, but you know, it was that I can't find it, but just being in the now and letting things
unfold.
Not unfold, but you know, you don't have to do. I mean, that was it. Like, once again, I'm doing that. Like, I'm going to do this every day, and yesterday I didn't want to do it, and then you know, I'm creating this expectation that's not good. You know, and it's only for myself. It's not like I'm letting anybody down. Only myself. You know.
Exactly. You're not letting anyone down, but when you put so many expectations onto you and you don't, let's say, do it because they were not realistic, the only one person who will feel disappointed is you.
Yeah.
So really, by setting higher expectations, it's you're actually letting yourself down.
Yeah, yeah. And that was
So-
you know, I've known that, but that was an epiphany again today for me. Like, you know what? You went to bed, you got it all done, you know, but there was something in the need there was something though in that need for me to go back to bed, because I usually don't. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like I was out over the weekend or anything. So, you know, hopefully that's healing as well. You know, because I did go
It
to bed
is, Colin.
3 hours during the day.
It is.
Yeah.
Look, every time you will listen to yourself and every time you will go with your needs and looking after yourself, that is you healing.
Okay.
And that is you reparenting your inner child, showing your own inner child that, look, I can actually treat you better. I will treat you better to what you have been experiencing so far. It's like every time you listen to your own needs, it's like you're telling yourself, I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm here for you.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Last week, you have asked me to go through again the 7 layers of the mind. Is
Yeah.
that what you want me to
Yeah.
cover today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but just to
Yeah. I know. I think that's a great idea, because that I did have to go back looking, but that's where I did come back up again for the ego, you know. So yeah, no, I like the idea of that.
Okay. So is there any questions first that you would like me to ask, or would you like me to go with the theory and then we'll take it from there?
yeah.
Take it from there?
Yeah.
Okay. So our mind, so so our mind have 7 layers, but our mind operates from 3 frequencies that are the most common ones. So we have our consciousness, so that's your self-awareness. We have subconscious mind, which is huge part of your inner child work, your shadow work. And then we have unconsciousness, which is also your inner child work. And everything that happened, but we might not remember it consciously, it doesn't mean it went disappearing and now it has no impact.
Yeah.
It means that our mind pushed that part of our consciousness because the emotions that were happening while this situation was happening, it overflowed us. So our mind decided, push it, suppress it to the unconsciousness so she can function while that was happening. So in a sense, when our mind does that, it causes fragmentations of our mind. So it's like it fragments what we remember and what we don't. This is why the whole process of healing is sometimes you will have a full-on situation where you will remember everything. Sometimes it will be a flashback of a memory, but you will only see something small out of the whole picture. If you want to still remember everything, but something might come back. You won't remember maybe the room, the everything, but you will remember, let's say, half of the room. So that's how the subconscious will reveal the information. But at the result of trauma, when there is so much emotions and we feel so much overwhelmed, our mind will fragmentation. That's how we call it. It will fragmentate the memory. It will like divide it and push it to the unconsciousness. So that's the part of how we operate on our frequencies. And the more you will work and the more you will expand your awareness, the more you will have access to your subconscious mind and then unconsciousness. Average person who never really done any self-development work, they operate, I think it's 97% of subconscious mind. So that means they're on autopilot all of the time. And only 3%, like people who does work, and then like the average person is 95% is our subconscious behaviors. So the more you can see, the more you will work on yourself, the more you will be aware of how you are, of who you are. Your consciousness, so the 5%, will be expanding, and you will be getting to know yourself. Ladies, I actually need to get my charger. I'm so sorry, because just give me one. I just gonna run for the charger. Oh my God!
I'm just going to get a hanky for my nose. You by yourself, Sandy?
You're grand.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. Yes, we got this. Oh my God. That's why I try to log myself into the other phone, but okay. So we saved it. So going back to the, where was I? The unconsciousness, and the more you will work on your awareness, the 5% will get bigger and bigger, and really to know and connect with the different layers of ourselves. And then, so that's the frequency, okay? But then the mind itself, as the body goes in, we have logical mind, which is the ego, really, mind. And ego's job, so this is the first layer, I would say, but the surface. Like we're talking from the top, not from the deep down. So from the top, this is the ego, and the ego's job is always to keep you safe and to survive at all costs. Also, ego's job is to always make sure you're happy. Make sure you're doing things to keep you happy. Having said that, ego doesn't really have that subconscious access to the feelings. So that means ego will get you to do something destructive and believe that it was good. For example, let's say one of your unhealthy habits to deal with your emotions, like sadness. Ego will hate you when you will going to feel sad. Ego can't stand you feeling sad. Ego doesn't know what to do with that. So ego will try to, oh my God, this is danger. We need to save you. Sandy, you can't feel sad. We need to save. you know. So it will start bringing you ideas to your head how to quickly fix this issue. And the issue for ego is, oh my God, I'm sad. So it will tell you, oh my, get that chocolate. It will starting to give you cravings for chocolate. It will start to give you cravings maybe for going out, and have loads of drink and have unsafe sex. Anything that will be quick, instant gratification, just to pull you away from that emotion.
Okay.
And for the ego mind, because nothing else is working, for the ego mind, the minute you will not feel sad, for ego is like, that's it, job done, we saved her.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Ego doesn't analyze, doesn't go into the emotions, doesn't ask for the needs. It's a quick fix about something. And always, ego will always pick the easiest solution. Even though it could be bad, because it's solving the problem, the ego will go for it.
So
So
is the
it-
ego the one that really, I suppose we have to catch, because that's the one that can destroy a lot, can't it? There's,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Another example of ego, it will, let's say go a little bit deeper maybe in relationships.
Mm.
You know, like for our, so let's say, I don't know. So the first example would be for, you know, giving and receiving gifts, something like that. I'm not sure. Like let's say it's your birthday and you will want something, if you will expect your partner to do something for you, but
Yeah.
then your partner will be like, no, I don't want anything. I don't like party. Don't do anything. I don't want it. But deep down, you will have an expectation, oh, you better do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the ego will not allow you to communicate how you and what you really want, and yet ego will convince you, sure, if I tell him what I really want, it won't matter, it won't be as big, because then I told him, so it will be spoiled. Ego will come out with all those excuses of why you didn't do something even though you wanted it. Like, you know, why were you dishonest? Ego will always make it your way. Make sure like it's on you. So you're good. So let's say if you will make a mistake. Okay, I don't know. Okay, another verse. This would be very maybe silly an example, but these are
Can I
just the
just ask you,
examples that come into mind.
Sorry, Sylvia, is your reception bad or is it just me?
No, it's me too. Me too, Sandy. She
Okay.
keeps going in and out.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry, because I thought I was, my hearing, sorry. Sorry, Sylvia.
Do
it's
you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can, but it's kind of crackly. It's a bit, it's weird. I don't know. It's just,
Missing words and stuff.
yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, yeah. Is it just since you went out? Is there something different?
No, it's all the same. It's the. Let me just see. No, I have everything. But maybe I just put this on.
My hearing is not great.
How is it now? How is it now? Is it all the same or is it not good?
To say you're freezing. I thought it was just.
Okay.
Are we freezing on you, Sylvia?
Not really, no. No.
Okay.
See, I don't know this because I'm the one who's talking. You're kind of listening. I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
No,
that's I always think it's where I live. I've got bad reception, so I just always think it's just my reception. But anyway, we'll carry on the best we can.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But I hear both of you. Like, Colin, now you spoke, and there was
Now-
no.
Oh, it sounds better.
Yeah.
It sounds better, does it?
Yes, much clearer. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we did fix something unconsciously with our intention
Sorry.
of fixing. Okay. So, do you have any questions on the ego?
Well, it sounds like the ego isn't your friend at all. Do you know? It's like one of those things you've got to watch out for. I mean, I always hear people say, oh, they're so egotistical in that point. But when you say in the beginning, when you say it's to keep you safe and survive at all costs, you think, oh, it's my friend. Then when you get deeper, you think, oh, well, maybe not, you know?
Colleen, very good point. You see, when you are in survival mode and you completely disconnected from the different layers, your ego is your best friend
Okay.
because your ego is actually keeping you alive.
Okay.
No matter what, in what way, it doesn't matter how. What matters is that it does keep you safe and survive, like you're alive.
Yeah.
This is what happens if people are so unhappy, and then the ego can't keep up with their own emotions because their emotions are keep floating and they're lacking the ego.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
That is when the huge chronic depression starts and then suicidal.
Okay.
So in that sense, ego is your best friend.
Okay. It does keep you alive at all costs, and not necessarily the best, but yeah.
But it does what
Like
it
a
believes.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what happens to the ego has access to your memories, but immediate memories, not long-term memories. So
Mhm.
let's say if you have ate chocolate and that made you feel good, ego will take it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's solution solved. Now we have connected. So
Yeah.
ego will connect things, but not necessarily overthink and analyze, is this good for Colleen?
Yeah.
Like, don't she really needs that? Or maybe she needs something deeper. Ego doesn't think like that.
Yeah.
Ego is quick fix, solution, survival, keep going, next equation.
Okay, yeah.
And
Okay.
you say let's start from the top, ego. So is ego the first thing in our mindscape? Is ego the dominant thing that will always pop up first?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, no. Ego will develop the last.
Okay. All right, good. So you don't have to battle it first out.
No. What we are born with is we are born with the self, with our soul, and the inner child.
Okay.
Then our shadow comes out and quickly learn that we shouldn't be and we can't be. And then we learn about our masks and then the ego. So by 2 years old of age, you have mainly all the 7 things that are, but when you're born with the 3.
The self, the soul, and the inner child. Oh,
Yeah.
that's sweet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the other reason why ego doesn't have connection to your emotions, because ego is based on the left side of the brain. It's like, it's not really that's where it is, but it's connected to the left side of the brain. So in the next layer, we have our masks.
Yeah.
And our masks are the things that we put to either hide ourselves, hide our emotions, or we use masks to make us feel safe. It's learned behaviors. It's what we know. So that's what makes us behave differently when we are with our friends and when we are with our family members. That's our masks. our mask will shift, will change. There's still aspects of ourselves that will have, let's say, each mask will have, let's say, like a similar personality trait, but yet they will be different. Have you drawn your masks on the workbook?
No, not yet. I've just done, I'm up to the mandala. I think the mask is next.
Oh, mandala, one of my favorites. Oh. Did you do it?
Yeah, I did mine.
Oh, put it up a little bit. I didn't see it.
I just did a small one.
Will you take a picture of it? I'm so curious of your mandalas.
Yes.
You see, mandala is the easiest way to connect and the safest way to connect with your unconsciousness.
Okay.
So whatever you drew in there, it comes from your unconsciousness.
Okay.
It's never your conscious or subconscious mind. It's always the unconsciousness.
Okay.
This is why when we draw mandala, it always has to be in the circle, because that represents our mind, the
Oh.
whole structure of the mind.
Well, I enjoyed doing it.
Absolutely, because then you connect to inner child. So with
Yeah.
the core, oh,
Well, I did it a while ago, but I put down that I found myself humming while I was drawing, while I was colouring. So I figured that was soothing and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm very creative that way, but yeah, enjoyed it.
look at the belief. I
Yeah.
don't believe I'm very creative that way. You don't know whether you are creative that way or not because you never tried it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you've been told by other people that you're not creative, now this can be changed.
Yeah.
This belief, this truth might not be no longer your truth. Maybe your inner child loves to create stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna write that down.
just watch out what you're saying, because
Yeah.
your words.
I know. Yeah. That's very good. Oh, I'm not creative. Watch out.
Challenge that belief. Like maybe it was the truth for then, maybe it's not for anymore. Maybe you're choosing different truth right now for yourself.
Yeah.
And because especially when you say, oh, I enjoyed that.
I did. Oh, I enjoyed it. I was humming and stuff like that. And it is about watching my language, which is so easy for me to say, oh, I'm not creative. It's so easy for me to say stuff like that. You know, it's so first nature for me.
Let's come back. And when you say it, oh, it's so easy, I'm not creative. Put your hand on your chest.
Yeah.
I hear you that you believe that you're not creative.
I hear that you believe you're not creative. Yeah.
But is that really the truth?
Mm-hmm. Is that really the truth?
They want to believe this?
Do I want to believe this? Yeah.
What's the answer?
It's not the truth. It's not the truth.
So what is the truth?
The truth is I can be creative. I can be creative,
That's your truth.
That's my truth, yeah. But yeah, absolutely.
So the truth is you can be creative when you're choosing to be. Well done. We see you. We see you, little Colleen. We see you. We see your inner child, Colleen. Absolutely.
Okay, nice.
Well done. That's nice. Okay, so are we good with the masks? You can, there will be times when you can draw the masks and you will see they might be completely different. They might be very similar. I think they're on the
Wait, the masks. Hold on a second.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah.
Like you have full page of masks. You can color them, but just create your own ones. Like
Yeah.
that would be the best fun, you know? Just go and imagine your own masks.
And some of them will not be, will, you know, like when we did the Mandela, it was a nice, happy thing to do, but colouring those masks might not be nice, Sylvia.
Why?
Maybe because you have a mask of nothing happened to you as a child or something like that. Do you get what I'm saying? That masks. Or like,
But
you know, in Ireland, they have a saying where they say, keep the good side out. You know, have you heard of that saying? And maybe you don't feel that way.
Again, very good question. Because when you're going to color your mask or drawing your masks, your job is not to judge those masks. You needed those masks to survive.
Yeah.
You created those masks to help you be where you were.
Okay.
Not everything that happened to you could at the time have or be exposed to the light.
Yeah.
There were secrets that you had to hold as a child, and no one could know about it. So you needed those masks. So your job is not to judge whether it's good or bad. Your job is to get to know them and be grateful that you had them and that you can meet your masks today.
Okay.
Because that's how you're connecting with yourself, not through judgment, not through fear, but through acceptance. This is what I had. This is what I needed.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. So our masks, now we have them masculine, feminine energy. We did mention that like last week as well. Which I did the homework like, oh my God. So it made sense why it's crossed, but you know, I didn't know that from last week. So the masculine, it's all about doing, you know, organizing, planning. It's very much giving stuff. And the feminine in us, it's more about receiving, being, you know, not expecting, but just allowing things to unfold, like trusting, because masculine energy is, you know, it's very much in control of the things. And then we're talking about like, you know, healthy masculine energy when it's controlling, but also will allow the feminine to, you know, have ideas and be and flow. So right now, what you're doing, you're actually in perfect balance between those two energies.
Right.
You allowed yourself to receive, to take care of, you know, to take care yourself, but at the same time, today, look what you're doing. Today, you're on the go, you're doing the program, you're back on track. Do you see how that is balancing out?
Yeah.
And doesn't mean you 8 hours of feminine and now I have to have 8 hours of masculinity. That's not how it works. We don't measure energy through time. We measure energy through how it feels. Because feelings are also the energy. So based on your needs. So this is why it's so important for you to listen to what you need at some time. Sometimes you will be, you know, required to be more in the masculine to accomplish something, to get something done. Sometimes you will be tired of that, and then you will, you know, step out of their masculinity and just allow yourself to receive, to do nothing without judgment, without fear of, oh my God, I'm not in control. That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have the lovely shadow. Shadow is probably, well, not probably, is the darkest side of our personality.
Mhm.
Like, like for us, I think I did say that in here, or if not in one of the master classes, it's when we want ourselves to reach the heaven, we really, our roots needs to touch the hell. So basically that's what it is. Like our shadow is the things that we don't like about ourselves, but we know that we are having those parts. Like, could you be mean? Yes, you could. Are you choosing to be mean? No. But
Yeah.
if someone would really cross you, does that mean you could use that part of yourself? Yes. But then you have the choice. And with the shadow, the more you push it aside, the more it will grow.
The more you what? Push it aside.
The more you push it and pretend it's not there,
Yeah.
it
Oh, the
will
more it
come
grow.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
So then I suppose, Sylvia, it's learning how to manage it, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. But before you know how to, and that's, you need masculine energy.
Mm, mm,
Feminine energy, you need to accept your shadow self. Feminine energy, you need to acknowledge, okay, I do have it, I don't like it, but I do have it.
Mhm.
But then your masculine energy is to, okay, now we have it, but this needs to stay in line.
Okay, okay, yeah. And they all kind of intertwine as well, which is kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yes,
Mm,
absolutely. They're all interconnected.
mm,
If I would draw it, how does it really works? It's like this.
okay.
Because look what happens. I'm going to actually show it to you because now you're talking really about spirituality here.
Mm,
Because part of the psyche is one thing, but then we also have our chakras. So
yeah.
if you see how the mind right now, so the top is the ego, and then it goes deeper. If we would go to the chakras, it's actually the other way around because the deep, the one at the lowest is the basic, it's your root chakra.
Mm.
So do you see how? Okay, so and it's seven, and it's seven.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So let's say this is the chakras and this is the layers of our mind.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Okay.
if this is the top would be in here would be ego, but it will be very much to the crown chakra.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
And then we have the self
It's a
and
big root.
root. So do you see?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this
yeah.
ego, but
Yeah.
it's equal to the chakra, to the crown chakra, which is the highest chakra. And
Yeah.
which is connected to our spirituality, which is the self.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. I get you. Yeah.
So it's really like this.
Yeah.
Like we're really connecting. Like we are really connected. Like so the shadows, it's the ugly part of ourselves. Like, when they say, and I think I do speak about this in my book, when we can be like we have an angel and we have a devil in us. Like both.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Neither or is good.
Mm.
But it's the meaning and the choice we're making
Mhm.
as a result. So it's like you always have, and that is the biggest power we all have, free will.
Mm.
Regardless of what happens to you, regardless of what you believe, you do have free will, and that will never be taken away from you.
Mm.
So you don't have to be afraid of your shadow. The more you embrace it, the more powerful you will be, because it's like a yin yang.
Mm.
It allows, if you want to be the light always creates the shadow as well.
Mm.
And when you had the trauma, that was your dark side. So that means the other side is the light.
Mm.
See, that's actually another thing with traumatized self. When we keep ourselves in the survival, sometimes it's actually easier for us to be in the shadow and not knowing our light, not knowing who we really are, the goodness in us, how
Mhm.
open, how trusting, loving we could be.
Yeah.
Because somehow we're more comfortable with the shadow than actually with the light part of ourselves.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. So then we have our inner child. And the inner child is the most playful, innocent, raw, naive, trusting, loving part of ourselves. If it's like you have heart so open, so like on your hand, really. It's it's beautiful. It's the purest. You see, inner child is a huge connection and the link between our spirituality, where we came from, and to experience the life on earth.
Oh, wow.
Because up to 6 years, you are still we all are born with amnesia. Like, so you're in a, like, so that, but that's, we're connecting now to the soul. But ours, when we're born, we're born with an amnesia. But there are still parts of ourselves that we have our consciousness. And even though as children we might not necessarily understand why our mothers felt certain ways, we still felt what they felt.
Mhm.
We didn't understand what was happening, but we understood the effect of how it was making us feel. So that is your consciousness. So even though a child, the inner child, we think, oh, it's a child, doesn't have a brain, doesn't understand. Oh, the child has awareness and consciousness. I think the time, I think from the week 6 or week 7, when it's still in womb, that's when the consciousness of the child is actually starting. So if you would, let's say, if you would go to like prenatal therapy, or if you would be like hypnotized and go back to your prenatal, you would remember everything, because that's your conscious part of your
Mhm.
like awareness. So it's somewhere in the of like unconsciousness. Well, it's unconsciousness, but you still, as a child, you had consciousness. So at the time, it was your consciousness.
Mhm.
So this is why we have so much access to everything. Like, we're so much spiritual, you know? Like, we do have access to everything. So in the inner child, then is also all your perceptions, your point of view, beliefs, your behaviors, your understanding of this life. Everything is being programmed. So if I will show you again another picture of how your inner child brain was happening. So this is the, you know, the unconsciousness, consciousness, and how the adult's brain operates. Oh, that's better. So this is how the frequency looks like, and this is better. So right now, our brain connects on the beta.
Better, okay.
But from up to 6 years of age, your brain looks like this. It's open, no filters, everything goes in.
Wow.
And this is your subconscious. This is how your subconscious looks like. It's like it's open mind, takes everything in. This is how we learn about ourselves, about parents, about what's acceptable, what's not. And then after 6 years old, our frequency is changing. Because that means you already have a concept of self, and we are already starting to be a little bit independent, more independent. That's, that's how it works. So that's our inner child. Do you have any questions so far?
No, I was just thinking, when you're talking about it there up to the age of 6. So my visual there, it's like it's our hard drive, really, isn't it? Of our computer. So
absolutely,
what's been formed is then what we've been programmed, literally up to now, isn't it? And it's changing that hard drive, rewiring the hard drive.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that's exactly it. And then, so that's our inner child, and then we have our soul. Our soul connects to our inner child and connects to the child's consciousness. Depends. Usually it's like a few months in the womb. So that is all your all the wisdom that you have. It's not the knowledge, it's the wisdom. It's sometimes and it's hard to explain why you know it, but you know it.
Yeah.
That's your intuition, that is your soul. Sometimes you might like things or do things not knowing why, because let's say, okay, I will give you an example of me, because that would be the easiest way, because I can't read your mind, and I don't know what would be your experience, but I'm just going to give you a perspective, or how soul could communicate with you, or what would be left from, let's say, past lives or something, because your past lives is your soul. It's the journey of your soul. And you do have access to it. So as a child, I think I was 3 at the time, or even around 3, I think. I always told my mother that I want to go back home. And she didn't understand what I was saying. She's like, what do you mean go back home? Like, we are at home. And then I would, let's say, if I would tell her, like I would see on TV, like pyramids or something, or if I would have a book with pyramids, I would tell her like, this is home, this is home. And she'd be like, oh my God, what is, you know? And I loved spending time on the beach. I loved touching sand. I loved all of that. And I was 3 at the time. I didn't understand any of this. And I always say that my first holiday ever, it will be to Egypt.
Mhm.
I said it, and recently I actually asked my mom, do you remember the holidays I always told you that I didn't wanted to go to? And she said, oh yeah, Egypt. And I was like, yeah, okay, you remember. So I didn't I didn't make this up. So and so that was my experience. But then the more I would talk about it, the more I noticed that the more weird she would feel. She wouldn't take me seriously. I didn't understand why, but yet I understood how I felt when I was talking about this.
Yeah.
So I stopped talking about it. Until 2 years ago, when I went for regress therapy. So that is like a hypnotherapy, but it's like a true connecting with your past lives, and you see if there's any like karma that you need to, anything. So that was my own way of healing. I'm very open to anything, really. So I went to that, and I opened 3 past lives in one session. And one of those lifetimes were me ruling the Egypt.
Wow.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, now I knew Egypt was home.
Wow. Wow.
So that's how, you see, sometimes we will say things and logically they won't make any sense. And ladies, if I didn't go to regress the therapy like session, I would never have known that.
And was that somebody, who was that who you went to? Should we all try it, Sylvia?
It's now it's all up to you if you want. There's loads of people who does that. Like I'm sure you can, if you just Google, just go with your intuition again.
Okay.
Because there are people who will do hypnotherapy or who will do regress sessions, and you will just feel right. So I would say Google it. You can do it online, you can do it, face to face, whatever suits you best. But that was just one of my experience,
Yeah.
So soul is always there, always. It's connecting and it's talking to you all the time, but it will never be invasive. It will never take away the free will out of you. Although, having said that, your soul also has a journey to process here, and it knows. So sometimes, as much as through your, it's believed, I don't know how much you believe in it, but your soul has chosen this life.
Yeah, that's
So sometimes things and people you will meet, and you will be in places where you will feel like, oh my God, I'm meant to be here. Like it will feel like I met you like a long time ago. Like I know you for such a long time, but we only literally know each other 5 minutes.
yeah.
Those things are, yes. And these are, the soul is communicating with you. You are on the right track, on the right life path. We might think that we want all of those things, but if this is not what your soul wants, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Or other way around. You might believe you don't want something, and it's happening because that is your soul's journey. So this is why it's so important, again, to come back to your self-awareness. see where in your life you have patterns. Because those behavioral patterns you will repeat, and your soul will have to keep repeating them until you solve it, until you go past and take that lesson for your soul. So if you feel any similar, patterns, these are your lessons for this lifetime to solve, to heal.
Okay.
And then we have the self, which is all of the above, which allows you to have direct communication with your soul, with this life as a human, but also with your, like, you know, your the guardian angels, or like your and everything, with the whole universe. Whether you are spiritual, like if you have, you believe in God, it doesn't matter. Whatever you believe or not believe in, the self is part of everything. So the self is really you being part of the universe, and the whole universe is in you. So endless possibilities, co-creation, free will. Your intuition, that is the self. And having said that, it's all what it was and all what it will be. So the self is really, I will probably take a huge I'm not, you don't remember, you don't have to agree with me, okay, on this. But I'm not sure if you heard that we are God, and God, like we have a God in us, and God is part of us. This is the self. So the God is part of us. Are we God? In a way, yes. Are we fully all that? No, because we still are connected to each other. So there is part of me, part of Colleen, part of Sandy, part of everybody else. We all are that part of a huge energy.
Yeah, we're all connected.
We are.
Yeah. Be it a higher power or God or spirit, whatever you worship.
Yeah.
Yes, it has so many names. And if you would look at even science, so quantum physics would call it quantum field. Somewhere in India, they will call it Akashic field. Or Akashic records, actually, not field, Akashic records. Religion will call it God, or I don't know, like Muslim people will have it like Allah. Yes.
Yeah.
Buddhism will use it as, I don't know actually what Buddhism. I think these are the only one religion that is calling it as something higher, like higher self or higher something. I'm not sure now. I need to check it. But so also like the universe, so Akashic field, Akashic records, quantum field, God, the higher self, energy, universe. It all has different names, but everyone is talking about the same thing. So what does that really mean? We don't know how to really describe it, But the truth is, we feel it.
Yeah.
We feel connected to something higher
Yeah.
than just ourselves. We feel guided. When we ask for guidance, it always comes.
Mm,
Always.
mm,
Sometimes people call it actually your subconscious mind that is your God. Because it, again, it has connection to your unconsciousness. And it's like the link between your unconsciousness and your consciousness. So really depends what you believe in and how you want to call it. That's
Mhm.
what matters.
mm.
Yeah. Well, we do believe it, that's for sure.
Look, Colleen, you're here.
Mhm.
You're here. And you got, like it we
The right group of
to
people were meant to come together right now. So
Yeah.
this was meant to be.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? That was fascinating. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
You're very welcome. I love having those conversations, and usually people are surprised that that I do talk about lots of those things,
Oh, it's great. No, but it's again awareness, empowerment, knowledge. It's a better understanding of who we are, really, with
Yeah.
no
Yes.
judgment.
You see, I believe we have our mind, our body, and our soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to connect this for us to feel so whole and authentic. So
Yeah.
I think this is a deep conversation that many people will start to awaken to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, very deep,
Yeah.
very deep
Thank you. Oh my God, it's very
conversation.
late. Wow. Can I ask you next week? Sorry, Nan, I don't mean to be bold here. The genogram. Could you? I'm looking at that.
Okay.
Could you give an and if Colleen, if you wanted something, it's interesting. It's about the family tree again. I suppose it's a bit looking at kind of family trauma, would it be, or post-generational?
Absolutely.
I feel that's a big one personally.
Okay. So what questions do you have about it? Because
I don't know, because I'm going to work in it, but I'm just going just to see how it works. I don't know. I'm going to try it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is there any module I can listen to, or is it I have to look at the pictures and read and see?
So okay.
You draw your own genogram.
You
Yeah.
do. You do. So below I gave you the example of the genogram.
Yes.
And then on the next page, you have all the symbols and
Yes.
for the emotions and, like,
Suppose I can try it and see it. Look, I've nothing to lose. It'll be interesting.
Sandy, if you have any questions, don't wait till Monday to ask me those questions.
Okay. Okay.
Use our group chat
Okay.
or even Facebook group. I know that's very not active, like no one wants to post anything in there.
I know, I've never used it.
Yeah,
And
I've
I'm
never used it. And it's not because I don't want to post anything. I'm just not a Facebook user of that
Yeah.
way. I'm more of a person. But Sylvia, I was going to skip that whole thing because, my parents were immigrants to Ireland. They died when we were young. And, I've tried to ask the few aunts that I have that I got to know as an adult about my mother, but they say, well, she was the oldest and she left when I was young, and so I don't really know I don't know a lot about my family history. I'm sure, and I do believe there's a lot of trauma generational trauma coming through, but I just don't have access to it really.
That's okay. So what if you want to do it? You could do it just with what you know. So both parents, and then you have your siblings.
Yeah, I can do it with maybe some of my siblings and stuff like that. I can do it from this generation. Yeah.
Exactly. And then if you want to connect then this to your aunts, maybe that's up to you. But
Yeah.
Colleen, don't feel pressured to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you want to do it, do it.
Yeah.
If you want to skip it, skip it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try it. I try it from this generation. I mean, I have information there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting enough. Okay. We'll keep.
Ladies, if you have any questions, message me through the WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Like that's why we, that's why we're doing this. Like, if you have any, don't wait till Monday. Like, if you want to feel like you want to have it done and then discuss it when it's done.
Yeah.
Then that could be amazing, because then I could actually help you analyze it, and I could actually give you feedback what I see.
Yeah, be interesting. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Because genogram, like that's all.
Yeah, I know. No, and it's interesting. I'm going to stop here because isn't this the time of the Aquarius right now, isn't it? And basically, yes. And a friend of mine just said to me that this is bizarre, like, and I'm sure you know this, that this is the time right now because there's something going on with the planets. I don't know. There's lots of activity going on. That this is the time to be really grounded, centered, because it can be a time when we're really not in our bodies, and to work on inner child and trauma.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't make this up, could you?
No. And like you say, we're at the right time, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. You see, people are starting to awaken, and so last year it was the year of awakening. This year is about revealing. So everything ugly will come to the surface. And the sun is really waking it up. So, but not only ugly, actually, not only ugly. It will depend on where are you on your journey. But if people are hiding the shadows and pretending, and, it will all come out.
Yeah.
If people are working on, so the whole process of what's happening with the planets right now, especially the sun, actually, it will help you with the healing. The healing will be more intensive, but it will be quicker. Your energy will shift very quickly. So, like, there's like sun floration. Is that how sun flowers? Like,
Yeah.
So there's different layers of that. And this year we will have 9 of sun flooring, is that how you say it?
Yeah. So yeah.
9. So far we had 2.
Wow, Jesus.
Remember, I'm not sure if you saw it, but after the first one, there was earthquakes all over the planet.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Next one, this one. So okay, I'm going to use this. So if this is the sun, let's say, and the floration happens here, it will have, depending on our planet will be, it will come, so that energy will come down on a specific area of the planet.
I see what you're saying.
Waking, so it could be like tsunamis and stuff, but this is all to just shift the energy. It will have to change. So the sun, it's like the sun being for 200 years, over 200 years, been asleep. Now it's waking up.
Oh, wow.
But when sun is waking up, we are waking up.
We are waking,
Because sun is really much connected to ourselves.
Hey.
Yeah,
to our life.
Yeah, it's very, very, Yeah, a
It's
powerful time.
amazing.
We're all
And on top of that, we're actually in Dragon's Chinese
Chinese.
year,
Yes.
which is another, my God, this year is going to be very powerful year.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I
It's
think
great.
so. Yeah, it's a year for doing. Yeah. But staying grounded, staying connected.
Yes.
That's the key.
Okay.
That's what I'm finding. Like, you know, I can feel it. Yeah, it's really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. My
So
God, sorry.
you did amazing.
All right.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
amazing.
one more thing. One more thing. Will you be here on Tuesday, not Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday?
Yeah.
This
I'm
week.
doing
Yes. No, I was saying I'm going to join it. I'm going to join it.
Please go, because it will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not sure because I'm actually away. What time is it again? Same time?
Same time, 8 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock on Saturday. From our own experience, I took it from the last
And you won't know, will you, until the morning or until people show up, will you, or you don't know?
I don't know what.
Well,
Like
I'm
who's
joining.
going to turn up on the thing, on the Zoom?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, because it was my friend told me about this. I didn't know, I didn't see it at all. My friend had sent me your link.
Oh,
And it was bizarre. She never ended up doing it, which was mad.
my God.
Yeah.
So maybe this. And
Yeah.
you see, I do post it on the unlocked in the closed group chat as well, the one that we had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you not
Yeah.
see it? No?
No, I hadn't seen it. No, it was no.
Okay.
No, I'm not. See, I don't really go into Facebook a lot either, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, it's mad, and I'm not really connected to the internet either. I need to start connecting more with that area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm on the internet, but I'm not a big Facebook user because I know that it's there's not a lot of honesty in it. And if I look at it, it'd be like, oh my God, my life, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Sylvia, we have to join, don't we? So you can give us the
If you are on the
Yeah, I think we are on it. I know I'm on it. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
you are, so if you just go to your
to get the
I
Zoom
will-
number.
yes, you know what? I will connect. Okay.
Yeah.
You have it on your the group. You have it, the links in there. But
Okay.
what I will do, I will post also the links to the Zoom on our WhatsApp group.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I'll be there Thursday. I'll be doing it.
I'm not sure whether I'll be there or not because I know there's stuff going on, but if I can, I will, and I'll promote you if I'm on, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, no. But it would be just nice to have you both. Okay, but there's no pressure. Whatever you feel like you want. So
Yeah, thank you for tonight. It's great.
Yeah. Thank you, Sylvia. We'll see you
I
next
can't
week.
believe
We'll
week
see you
7
Thursday.
next week. Oh my God! Wow, it's gone really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been great.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right. What do you want to do? That's it. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Oh, well. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Hey, bro. Got a check in there.
About your call notes from June 6, 1998, in which you referenced a growing culture of Oxycontin reviews. Oh, perfect. I'm actually outside the place right now. I'd love to just come in and chat with you real quick. Am I? Of course.